Good to see you. Welcome, Vindicator. You stand before what remains of the High Council, advisors to Nasco Varuun. We are all that is left after the disaster that has befallen our people. I represent House Dulkef. Jamal is from House Kadik, and we are joined by Lovek of House Vital. We are, all of us, hopeful that your arrival in Dazra and your clear connection to Nasco Varuun, for the first time in weeks, represent some semblance of hope. Collectively, we unite under the banner of House Varuun, pledged to follow Jinan Varuun and his descendants. But our society is not a monolith. Jinan, in his wisdom, shepherded the first of us into families that we might grow and prosper. Our 3 families have for generations now helped to govern the people of House Varuun, and offer counsel to our leader. I understand. Until you were one of us, we could not trust you.
By all means, Malabor. I can't wait to see how you spend this.
Please, can we just for a moment...
Can we just for a moment what? Discuss whether or not to allow the first convert to House Varuun since before any of us were born? A bit late on that, it seems.
You were not there. You did not see a Nasco. It felt different. We have already wasted so much time.
You're correct. I was not there. Because you elected to travel to the spaceport on your own. And then decided this on your own.
Do not waste time with more bickering. Nasco, and by extension House Varuun, suffers with every passing moment.
Of course, Lovek. My apologies. Please, Malabor, do go on.
Nasco Varuun, like his father before him, has relied on the teachings of Jinan to guide us. Nasco wondered if perhaps it was time to seek guidance directly from the Great Serpent, and so sought a means of reaching out.
Perhaps he found the teachings inadequate.
Careful, Kadik. You tread on dangerous ground.
I mean nothing by it. We simply were never consulted on the matter and do not know the full motive.
The point is that a series of experiments have taken place over the years, utilizing grav drive technology to hopefully make direct contact with the Great Serpent, similar to Jinan Varuun's initial meeting.
And then something went wrong.
We do not know what happened. We were not inside the Scaled Citadel at the time.
Had we been, we wouldn't be standing here now. We'd be like the rest of them.
A great tide of energy emanated from the Scaled Citadel and swept across Dazra. Much was destroyed in its wake. Those caught in the blast have been left in a state of confusion, trapped halfway between our universe and the Vortex. The Citadel itself remains in such a state. Right there and yet beyond our reach. We can only assume that the experiment is still running, somehow preventing us from entering the Citadel. We cannot get in, so we cannot stop it. We're beginning to lose hope before you arrived. Forgive me, I am no scientist, but as it has been explained to me, what we call the Vortex is the space between universes. It has only been a few weeks. There had been efforts to put together some kind of response, some plan. But they had fallen apart. Your arrival and your interaction with Nasco shows that he can still be saved. A plan had been devised to access the Citadel, but the work stalled. Clearly, it is time to move forward with it. The current head of our science team, Ekris, should be in Jinan Plaza down below us, towards the Citadel. Tell him about your experience with Nasco, and that work on the morning device must proceed.
You would speak with me? I was outside the city, visiting a friend at his farm. We saw the flash of light from inside, and by the time we made it outside, you know, in that moment, I worried it was my fault. That I had somehow not been faithful enough, that I had not believed. I still find myself worrying that we are being punished, that we have affronted the Great Serpent in some way, and that this is our penance. Indeed, Serac was my cousin. I know they were assigned to the Oracle, and Malabor relayed their final report sent by the station. They walk with the Great Serpent now. Serac was a respected scientist, dedicated to the Great Serpent. They spent every moment engrossed in their work, a true testament of faith. It was their greatest honor to be selected for the Oracle. The Oracle's fate will be tabled for a future discussion. We have more important issues at hand. 87 souls reside with the Great Serpent now. Many were some of the finest scientific minds House Varuun had to offer. They will be remembered alongside those we lost here in Dasra. Of course. Oh, it was breathtaking. A true testament to the will of Jinan Varuun and our faith in the Great Serpent. To have started from nothing and to have accomplished so much. I pray to the Serpent that we can someday reclaim all that we have lost.
Hello, Vindicator.
Yes? Good to see you. No, it's complicated. Jinan Varuun himself established the rules. Let me see if I can make it easy for you. The Speaker has supreme authority. He is the voice of the Great Serpent. The houses each handle some function of daily life and are individually run by the Elder of the House. Each of the houses also appoints a mediary to the High Council to inform and advise the Speaker. It's a separate position from the Elder, with a lesser degree of authority and prestige. Now is hardly the time to be entertaining such thoughts. Perhaps it keeps the Speaker free to concentrate on the larger issues, while allowing us some amount of control over our lives. Don't take it personally. We have been through so much these last few weeks. The Council is attempting to claw back some semblance of order from the chaos, steer things past this somehow. And then Malabor goes and throws you into the middle of all this without even consulting us. It's just one more breach of a protocol that barely exists anymore. I am over it, I assure you. It is good to have you with us, and we are finally moving forward. Until next time.
How may I assist you?
Something I can do for you?
know the scientists out at the Muddy Station?
The old married couple? Azad and Shireen, if I remember right. I've met them a few times. They seemed a little eccentric, but were otherwise quite nice.
That's them, yes. They're apparently looking for some help with their research. They made some kind of discovery that has them troubled.
Good luck finding help at a time like this.
Indeed. Yet the Serpent provides for the faithful, so who knows?
Nothing is truly impossible.
The armies of House Varuun must have been quite the force. To see this emptiness now brings me both sorrow and relief.
All must serve.
Nice work. What else are you going to make?
All about. Enough. Get hold of yourself. Your dourness is shameful and unbecoming of a soldier. We will serve Darsaran to the last man.
Ourselves lucky.
I understand. Everyone is simply gone. What did they do to draw the Serpent's ire?
There was no ire. They simply did their duties as a soldier. Our time will come eventually.
Not too soon, I pray.
The barracks are so empty. So many of our brothers and sisters vanished without a trace.
All I am saying is that I am not pleased with the recent outsider influence. I am sure you know what I am referring to.
Yes, I understand, and I agree with you. The first outsider in generations, and they are welcomed with open arms. How are we so sure they are not an off-world spy?
Perhaps this is the first wave of an impending cultural infiltration. The settled systems are scared of us, and so they are trying to tame us from within.
Indeed. I fear that darker days may be ahead for House Varuun.
No, we will not let those days come to pass.
All must serve. Many of our rank disappeared in the past. We were the lucky
I
ones.
understand, but everyone is simply gone. What did they do to draw the serpent?
Sorry, but you will have to get approval before you can buy any weapons from me. You do not have approval to trade with me.
I got you your favorite from the meat house. Extra fatty, just the way you like.
Stop! We are taking you into custody.
You...
Then we shall take you dead.
No way! I am not going to help you murder these people.
All right.
No way! I am not going to help you murder these people.
I am trying to keep strong.
Wait a moment. You have a bounty. A wise decision.
brothers, we broke bread apart. So many taken by the forces. Numbers are so few now. Your left is
Can I help? Feel free to drop some stuff into my bag. Dropping off a few choice items. Okay.
Stand down immediately. Stop! In the name of Shidan Varuun! Our brothers, we broke bread apart. So many taken by the forces. Numbers are so few. Your left is the same. All of us.
You cannot win my trust so easily.
Need something for your ship? Well, that is some ship you have there. It has been too long since I've tinkered with a ship from the settled systems. Well, I had a privileged upbringing that allowed me to hone my skills on all sorts of different ships. So, if you need anything for your ship, just let me know. Your ship seems fine to me. What can I help you with? About that. My father was a technician far outside of Dasra. Growing up, I would help him repair or strip all of the ships that were being delivered to him. Delivered by zealots. The ships were incredible. Deimos, throughout Ekland, even Hope Tech. It was so exciting to work on them, but now I just feel dirty. Knowing where those ships came from, what had to be done to acquire them. When I grew older, I came to my senses, grew a conscience, and abandoned my father. I thank the Great Serpent that I managed to avoid that life. Oh, no. Not in Dasra, at least. From time to time, our connections are able to deliver an outsider ship. They are Very rare, though, and the times I get to work on one are very few and far between. Thank you. It is moments like these that I know I made the right choice. Of course, of course! How may I help? I have taken good care of them.
But remember this. We are always open.
Huh? Oh, forgive me. I'm exhausted.
I pray that the Great Serpent will deliver us from our hardships soon.
Welcome. I was hoping you would eventually stumble into my shop. Welcome. That's an understatement. It's rare that an off-worlder finds their way to Dazra. But not just any off-worlder. One that's able to speak with a Nazca Varuun himself, which in the eyes of the citizens of Dazra moves you up from the suspiciously curious category to the dangerously unique one. Which reminds me, here I am prattling on about you when I haven't even introduced myself. I'm Nalada Brady. Forgive me for not starting our conversation that way. I've been a bit distracted of late. My brother Qasim has been missing for days. I'm beginning to worry that something terrible has happened to him. Yes, thank you. But my problems need not burden you. If you want to take a look at what my shop has to offer, well, you let me know. Really? You'd do that for me? Oh, you truly are a gift from the Great Serpent. I knew he hadn't forsaken us. Oh yes, of course. The last time I heard from Qasim, he was headed out to the Deep Gorge refinery to assess if it could be reopened. He never came back that evening. I've been worried sick. You know, now that you mention it, someone in the city said that they felt tremors near that area. Just please be careful. That old refinery has been abandoned for years, and there's no telling what might be choosing to call the facility its home. Now, is there anything you might need for your journey? The cataclysm that claimed most of Dazra has severely impaired our ability to survive on Varuun Kai. Qasim is simply trying to use his engineering background to help everywhere that he can. In this case, he's trying to assess if the refinery can be reopened. He strongly believes that the loss of the city's infrastructure means we need to rely on everything we can in order to get back on our feet. I hope you find something you like.
There's something I need to talk to you about.
Remember our last conversation when you told me the artifacts made your mind and body feel out of sync? Well, it got me thinking.
So I dove into our archives and started looking through Constellation's older journal entries. Just because I wasn't familiar with the experience you described doesn't mean the same might have been true for my predecessor. Really? I'm surprised that I haven't. After reading those journals, all of the pleasant memories of my time spent with Aja just started flooding back. Oh yes, absolutely. I didn't mean to compare. Those were just... oh, I don't know. Different times. Aja was the one that taught me the ropes at Constellation and took me under her wing as her protege. Hey, so I pinched a few ideas from my old boss. Can you blame me? At any rate, we logged quite a few discoveries together, but it was the actual journey that I cherished the most. Exactly. For me, it was all about the quieter moments. There was nothing quite like sitting back and watching space bend while listening to Aja spin vivid stories to fill the time. Oh, I find that sort of cozy isolation the best way to really get to know someone. I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You know, all this talk about Aja reminds me that my time with her was a gift. I miss her dearly. I respected her, and I considered her a dear friend, but we weren't in love. Had that been true, I would have resigned my post and moved to Parima 2 instead of remaining at Constellation. Come to think of it, if we're ever out that far, perhaps we could pay her a visit, and I could make proper introductions. Well, I don't expect you to be a carbon copy of Aja. Just be yourself. You see, it's clear that we share the same hunger to discover what's out there. And that, well, that's what intrigues me about you. I don't know if I deserve to be that close to anyone right now. If you knew about the things that I've done, the way my life's unfolded, I think your opinion of me might change. Please, give me some time. I have to go.
Come in, come in.
I do not have time to treat you at the moment.
Proceed.
I would do anything to sleep in my own bed.
I wasn't prepared for the sheer scale of it all.
You truly have no shame, Amir. No shame at all. What you have done goes beyond disgraceful. It is morbid, disgusting. You should be hanging your head in shame. But instead, here you are, acting like a common fool.
Borhal, calm down. Do not do this here.
How shameful of you to have these outbursts. Oh my, what would poor mother and father think?
You will speak not of mother and father, you sloughing bastard. No shame. No shame at all. What a waste of good life that they work tirelessly to give you.
What? What do you want? This does not concern you.
Please accept my apologies. I caught my brother attempting to do something unspeakable, and I could not contain my anger.
Oh yes, go on. Invite a total stranger into our family squabbles.
This is no squabble, you pompous fool. What you have done today is abhorrent. I can forgive stealing my money or pawning my valuables. What I cannot abide, however, is you attempting to some mother's urn with her remains still within.
That is horrible.
I was drunk, I did not know. All of those vases appeared the same.
It is an urn, not a vase, you ignoramus. And you were the one who chose it when Mother passed away. I am tired of your shamelessness, and I am done bearing what should be your indignity. Do you hear me? I am done. You have gone too far this time, Amila, and I cannot bear the humiliation of being your brother any longer. I challenge you to a duel. Danica shall be my second.
What? Are you mad?
Borhal, are you sure? There is already so much death in the city. What good would this do? There has to be another way.
Too late, Danica. He has issued his challenge. I accept. I, in fact, look forward to it. You shall be my second.
Our job is to make preparations and ensure fairness on both sides. We shall have different duties between the two of us, but our aim is to prepare the site of the duel, weapons, ceremonies, and discourage any ambushes.
Well, ponder it for a moment. If I win, I shall inherit Borhal's wealth and valuables. I can reward you massively for your efforts.
Amila's word does not count for much, but mine does. I understand if you are cautious to accept this responsibility, but I will see to it that you are rewarded justly no matter the outcome.
No, why not you? You seem capable and trustworthy.
The true answer is because Amila has no one, family or otherwise, willing to be his second. He has burned every bridge there is to burn. He will have to resort to picking someone off the street regardless, so it may as well be you.
I do not want to wait any longer than necessary. If you agree to this, you will allow us to come to an immediate resolution. I will pay you handsomely for that.
No. I believe we have just passed the point of no return.
I would not have proposed the duel unless I were fully committed to it. I am well past the point of compromising. Then it is settled. Outsider, you will work alongside Danica to prepare for the duel. As for you, Amila, enjoy these last few moments. For when we next meet, your shameful life ends.
Do not sound so confident, brother.
Their family home is this way. It is not far. We can discuss the matters there. You will be working with me. As seconds, it is our duty to prepare for the duel. and ensure fairness. I am sorry that you have found yourself in this situation. But know that you are doing Emila a great favor. Recovering from this. He truly has no one else who would be willing to do this for him. He has burned every bridge imaginable. It seems that after...
No way!
Someone is being attacked!
This is madness!
Nothing.
By the stars. I wasn't prepared for the sheer scale of it all.
What? What do you... Seems you're out. Oh, yes, go.
This is no school. I can forgive, but I cannot.
That is horrible.
I'm the outsider, Mason. I am... You have gone to...
What?
Borhall, there is
Too late, Danik. I accept you.
Then it is settled. As for you...
Need me
has
for
shamed
something?
us for the final
You
time.
will be working with me. As seconds, it is our duty to prepare for the duel and ensure fairness. I am sorry that you have found yourself in this situation. But know that you are doing Emila a great favor. He truly has no one else who would be willing to do this for him. He has burned every bridge imaginable. It seems that after years of suffering Emila's embarrassments, Borhall has reached the boiling point. But still, to challenge your brother to a duel... I pray that we will be able to work towards a peaceful resolution before it's too late.
I got you your favorite from the meat house. Extra fatty, just the way you like. You want to eat it now?
Do not let Emila break you down. This is it. Shall we begin our duties? Are you ready to discuss our roles? Oh, they are deadly serious. Borhall would have not dared to challenge Emila if not. The Odlum family has held duels in the past. It is something of a family tradition. Yes, there was a duel between their two great-grandfathers, I believe. From what Borhall has told me, it began as a property dispute. Their uncle died in a duel after being challenged by their grandfather. He was accused of stealing family heirlooms. History, it seems, repeats itself. Very good. Let us begin. Your primary duty as Emila's second is to work with the brothers and see if a peaceful conclusion is possible. Namely, if Emila apologizes to Borhall and he accepts, the duel may not move forward. As for me, I will be procuring the weapons for the duel and the materials for the preceding ceremony. Borhall as challenger reserves the right to choose the weapons, and he has chosen blades. Do you have any concerns? I will note your concern, but know that Borhall has the final say. If that is all, we will break here and see to our duties. Before that, though, I know that this duel is foolish. I am sorry you got pulled into this. I will try and find another peaceful solution to this problem, should you be unsuccessful in convincing them to call it off. Amila has the right to deliver a genuine apology to Borhall, and stop this duel before it commences. The odds of him doing so, however, are low. The Odlum brothers, like their ancestors, are stubborn and prideful. Duels were quite common 100 years ago, but have become more rare with each passing generation. At this point, the Odlum family is the only one that still takes part in this custom. Report back to me when you have spoken with the brothers. We will discuss your secondary duty then.
I see why Anasco spoke to you. You seem a charitable soul. Need help with anything? What is it? I need to prepare. I will do no such thing, and will feel no regrets in avenging Amila's constant dishonors. I have given him every chance, every credit. I have begged him to turn himself around. But instead, it has been endless years of dishonor and pain. Damn him. I should have known years ago that this would be the only way things would end. Not at all. I have served my time in the military. Amila's condition made him unfit for service. He may put up a good fight, but I will surely be the victor. Do you think I wanted this to happen? I tried to stop this downward spiral countless times. It was like saving someone from drowning, only for them to leap back into the ocean. Amila refuses to be helped, and he is determined to take me and the family name down with him. No, you are not my second. I do not see how this is pertinent to your duties. Again, I do not see how this is pertinent. You are just wasting our time. If that is the case... Even still, there is no point. I am not incapable of communication. You have made some valid points. I will answer your questions. No, Great Serpent, no. I will take no pleasure in his death. However, I may admittedly feel relief. I will mourn the loss of my brother. The brother he used to be, at least. And I will pray that his restless soul finds comfort with the Great Serpent. I have done everything, and he has left me with nothing. He comes begging for money, so I gave it to him. Then he comes begging for my items to pawn, so I sacrifice them. And then he comes screaming to me that I hate him, that I have done nothing to help him. All of this for a decade now. I would lay by his side every night praying that he would not choke on his own vomit. But in the mornings when I would throw away his bottles of koza, he would fight me like a monster. I used to take such pride in giving to the community, and in using my privileged position to help the less fortunate in the city. But I can no longer do that, as Amila has taken nearly every cent from me. I have sacrificed my entire purpose for living in the hopes that Amila would get better. And he never does. The koza ruined him. Once he began living at the bottom of a bottle, everything changed. I am just exhausted by him. It is exhausting to constantly be blamed by him for all of his problems, while always being expected to forgive and help him when he demands. We were never the closest of brothers, as our personalities are just so different. But we were close enough. He was a free spirit, which irked my parents. Honestly, I respected him a lot. He was unbreakable, even though the world was not always kind to him. He was funny, kind, and he always was trying to cheer me up, even if I had nothing to be sad about. The Amila you know now is not my brother. My brother may as well have died years ago. The Amila walking around today is nothing like what he used to be. An alcohol made from goat milk. Amila is absolutely dependent on it, and his wife was too. The damn stuff rots your brain, I swear. He has always been a troublemaker, but once the koza took over, he went from bad to worse. Now he is just an addict and a thief. I will be putting him out of his misery. I do not hate him. I do not love him either. And I can no longer tolerate him. I am sure Amila will spin a tale about his hard life. But the truth is that he has always been a miscreant and a troublemaker. But when father moved to strike him, who dove in front of the blows? When mother would not feed him, who sacrificed their food? It was me. It was always me. How does he repay me? He steals my valuables, slanders my name, and brings dishonor on the family. Any affection I had for my brother is long dead. There is nothing that could lead me to calling it off. An apology from Amila is worthless. He always falls right back into his old ways. There is no apology grand enough to make up for nearly trading your late mother's remains to fund an addiction. That is inconceivable. It would be, if Amila weren't a habitual liar, deceiver, and cheater. As I said before, an apology from him is less than worthless. He has apologized countless times for a decade, only to continue stabbing me in the back. If that is all, you may take your leave.
Salutations.
Oh, if there's one thing shared by all cultures, it's a place to vent and drink.
We lost a lot of good people to the Vortex. Bar seems much emptier.
Ah, look who it is. I will not waste your time. I already know what you have come to ask. You wish to inquire if there is any possibility of me apologizing to my brother. The answer is no. The duel shall go forward as planned. Why are you so sure that I will die? I have been in plenty of scraps on the streets, and I am not some sheltered pushover like my brother. He is trying to kill me. Why should I be the one to apologize? Borhal likes to paint me as a ne'er-do-well. But what type of psychopath wants to kill their own brother? It is not fair. He should be the one begging for my forgiveness. You cannot just turn your back on family like Borhal has done to me. And now he wants to kill me. If he wins, I hope the guilt of what he has done will rot him from the inside out. And if I win, it is justice. Fine. But do try to be brief. I would prefer to be alone so that I may enjoy what could very well be my final moments alive. I do not know. Perhaps him challenging me to a duel has something to do with it. Do I have something to apologize for? Correct. You are my second, not my acquaintance. I do not wish to speak of these things with you. Is there? Perhaps you can convince me. Oh, if it will get you to leave me alone, perhaps it is worth it. Enough, enough. You've broken me down. Go on, ask your questions again. I had a wife once. I'm not going to flatter myself and pretend that I was a good husband, but I loved her. And she loved me. Appreciated me. Faults and all. I never felt like I had to prove anything to her. When I say to you that she was my world, my everything, I am serious. She was perfect. And somehow, she loved something like me. It was like living in a dream every day. Nearly a decade ago, she and I shared a perfect night. In what I had believed would be a lifetime of perfect nights. But when I kissed her cheek in the morning, my lips froze. She was cold. Stone cold. After my beloved's death, I made one bad decision after another. To Borhal's credit, he was almost always there for me. He even paid for the funeral expenses. But he could not stop me from taking to the bottle, no matter how hard he tried. Eventually, he gave up on me. My own brother. His love and understanding has been replaced with scolding. I am truly alone. I suppose, but please, I am not looking for pity. Thank you. But no amount of condolences will bring her back. Because I am furious! My own brother, I cannot make sense of it. Who would challenge their own flesh and blood to a duel? Damn him! Damn him for putting me in this position! Damn him because I know even if I were to apologize, ending this duel before it starts, I will always see someone who would rather me dead when I look at his face! As in, am I physically capable? Perhaps, if the Great Serpent wills it. Am I mentally capable? I believe so. I have never felt this fury within me before. Look at me. Really look at me. Do I appear to be someone that has much to live for? If I die, I die. Nothing to be scared of. Except giving Borhal the satisfaction of taking my life. I suppose the thought has crossed my mind. Maybe it would be better to be dead. I could be with my wife. Well, if the Great Serpent would let me be with her, we were never the most devout in Dasra. I am not sure that I want to die, but there really is not much to live for, is there? But I am not just going to let Borhall end me. I cannot give him that satisfaction. Yes, yes I have. I am ready to fight and to die, if that is what the Great Serpent wills. Perhaps Borhall was depending on me being a coward. Perhaps he did not truly believe this duel would go on. Unfortunately for him, I am no coward.
Another drink will not hurt. You seem to be doing well. I'll drink to that.
Some koza to lift your spirits? This is what I have.
Great Serpent keep you.
Do not agitate the locals. Many have already lost everyone.
How are you handling everything? How did you fare? While disappointing, I am not surprised. Those brothers are stubborn as groats. But you may still have a chance to halt any bloodshed. Listen to me very carefully. Your final duty as a second is to prepare the ceremonial drinks that the duelists will imbibe prior to the duel. As you are preparing the drinks, you will treat each cup with this tranquilizer. Borhall and Emila will be too weak to fight after drinking this. This duel is idiotic, we both know it. It is a needless loss of life during a crisis where there is already so much death. And the victor will rue his actions for the remainder of his life. You have one final chance to stop this.
How are you so sure that this won't backfire?
I know that it will not. You have to trust me. I know that this way is the only way. Tradition decrees that the second of the challenged prepares the ceremonial drinks. I, as the challenger's second, will lead the duelist in a final prayer. We must follow tradition closely so as to not arouse suspicion. If Borhall is wary of us, he will remove us as second and simply hire others, and the bloodshed will move forward unchallenged. Theoretically, this should be safe. Unbelievable. You would prefer to line your pockets instead of halting bloodshed? Never mind that. I will ensure you receive some form of compensation. I will see what I can do. That would be tantamount to murder. Very good. Report to me when you are finished. May the Great Serpent aid us.
Something you need? Bye-bye.
Great Serpent, give me the strength to do what must be done.
Much to do. Is everything ready? Then it is time to begin the duel.
Yes, finally. I am ready to do what must be done. The time has come. Amila, are you sufficiently prepared?
I am ready.
It is time. Nothing we can do now but observe and hope for the best.
To your health, brother.
And may the Great Serpent have mercy on your soul, Amila. What is this? What have you done to me, Amila?
I am affected as well, dear brother. I did not do this. I can hardly see you in front of me.
What the hell is this? What did you do? What is this? Sabotage!
This duel was an asinine idea, Borhal. We put a stop to it. There is no use for needless bloodshed at times like these. We must come together, not kill one another.
You traitoress. You betray me. And then you lecture me.
Oh, enough of your grousing, Borhal. Your precious duel can wait. Or are you truly so determined to kill me?
Enough of your taunting. This is not over.
I am counting on that.
Remove yourselves. We must rest. But know that you have only delayed the inevitable.
Unless this is important, leave me be.
Thank the Great Serpent. You did it. The tranquilizer worked and you saved them both. Thank you for trusting me. Nonsense. You've made the right choice. Their egos are bruised, but deep down they are both relieved. Come what may, we have narrowly avoided a bloodbath today. If they are stupid enough to try again, we will find another way to stop it. But I doubt that day will come. I have faith that the Great Serpent will open their hearts to each other. He will show them that the pain from the tranquilizer would be dwarfed by humiliation and guilt, had the duel ended in bloodshed. Some of Amila's pessimism seems to have rubbed off on you. I want to thank you. You trusted me, and because of you, the brothers, my friends, are both alive. They are imbeciles, but better people than they seem. I am grateful for you. Please take this. It is admittedly not much compared to what you would have received if one of them had perished, but can you truly put a price on a human life? You are free to go. May the Great Serpent be with you. Always.
learn to pick... You know what, on second thought, I don't want to know.
Do not. You rob me of the chance to defend my family's honor. You are just as slimy as Amila. Are you trying to mock me? You were supposed to facilitate the duel, not scuttle it. You and Danica only served to fan the flames. There will be another duel soon enough. Are you trying to mock me? You and Danica? Why must you disgrace me with your presence? I have no interest in being friends with you. Take your questions somewhere else. Finally, I am done with you.
Not in it. Head's pounding. Could use a bottle of something right now. What does it matter to you? Just leave me alone, will you? I already have Borhal to contend with. I do not need you to bother me any further. What duel? You robbed us of the chance, and now I will never hear the end of it. I was ready to die, ready to kill. I was ready. You had no right to interfere like you did.
Thank you for trusting me. You saved 2 lives. Borhal and Amila are angry now, but they will get over it.
Were our sins really so great?
Yes?
Can I help? Okay.
Things they expect me to accomplish.
I agree with this city. I can hardly understand what I am seeing.
We will all be lucky to see the end of the year. Well, look who it is. You have made quite a stir, and given the state of things, that is a singular accomplishment. To what do I owe the honor, Vindicator? Well, well. Progress, at last. Then your arrival is even more momentous than I'd believed. I will spare you much of the technical detail, as I confess that pieces of it I barely understand myself. One cannot help but notice the energy field around the Scaled Citadel. Until we can get through it, we cannot shut down the experiment inside, and it has proved quite impossible to get through. We had the beginnings of a plan to build a makeshift contraption to redirect grav drive energy to see if we could penetrate the barrier, but the project came to a halt. Politics got in the way.
This hardly seems like the time for politics to matter.
Every one of the houses needs to contribute, and every one realized they could potentially use it for leverage. What should have been a cooperative effort turned contentious. Easy decisions became negotiations. And so, construction never began. We have sat here, staring at this disaster as supplies pile up for well over a week now. Serpent help us, it is infuriating. The Council just so happens to represent the 3 houses under Varuun's banner, who are also entrusted with various aspects of running, well, everything. Each of those houses needs to contribute something to the project, so the Council is the final stopgap. Were the Speaker here, he could bypass all of it with a wave of his hand, but, well, you have already seen the state he's in. Indeed. All must serve. I believe I've done enough complaining for now. Time to get to work. If you're here, the Council has likely sent word to the houses that it's time to stop the infighting. I doubt it will be enough. I need to oversee construction here, make sure things are built to specifications. If you could follow up with the houses, that may speed up the process. The first convert in generations. The only one to have heard from the Speaker since the disaster. Oh, I think they will listen. House Fetal owes us access codes for the city power grid. It's the only way to guarantee enough power to activate the device. House Kadik was supposed to provide a young scientist named Sahima to help me. She had at least some experience with the original Citadel experiment. No idea why they refused to send her. And Hasmek, the new elder of House Dulkef, he has been distant, guarded. He claims to have vital information about an important component of the experiment, but has withheld it until now. Help me get what we need, and we will see what we can do for the Speaker, and for House Varuun. And I may have something that can help you in whatever trials the Serpent puts before you as we navigate this. We have been really overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this. I know. I have lost friends and colleagues myself. We have encountered several interesting phenomena. First, while the phantoms shift to a fully human form when killed, they often retain small shards that appear to be an almost crystallized version of vortex energy. Second, we have learned that killing the phantoms sometimes causes an even greater disturbance. Horrors, as they have been colloquially termed, can appear from somewhere. We are unsure of their origin, but it is not within our universe. These horrors and their spawn are infested with cysts, a seemingly organic manifestation of vortex energy. We have managed to collect enough to run experiments and have devised a method of combining them into an explosive mixture with varying properties. While they have no use in the development of the morning device, if you find yourself out in the field, I believe they could have more practical applications. The process is simple enough that any industrial workstation should suffice, if you have the materials. And depending on how you combine said materials, you may find the results to be somewhat variable. I hope you can use that to your advantage. Just look around. I'm sure you have at least some idea of how much we have physically lost. A huge portion of the city is just gone. And those left behind are struggling. Supplies are limited. There is so much work to be done, and we are all just so tired. I hope that eventually we can return things to the way they were, but we must be realistic. That will take time, and I suspect a great deal of it. Not enough to have prevented it from happening. If I had any idea it was going to turn out like this, It had been Inasco's primary goal for some time. A way to recreate Jinan Varuun's encounter with the Great Serpent. Everything we knew about grav drive technology, every scientific advancement we'd made in the last 100 years was poured into it. Towards the end, I was just so exhausted. I asked for a brief time off. Had I not, I would be trapped in there with the rest of the science team. Of course not. I left the project weeks before the disaster, and at that point, we were nowhere near ready. Some breakthroughs were made shortly thereafter, and they ran the experiment. And here we are. Yes, depending on how much trouble you're getting into. We have been nearly overwhelmed with all that has happened over the last few weeks, but I have still spent some time doing my own research when I can. These phantoms, the vortex. Fascinating subject, really. If only there were some less disastrous way we could have discovered all this.
house elders to see me